Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing really well out there. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. I want to first thank everybody who participated in the Harvest Full Moon call to action. You guys are awesome beings, divine beings, and I thank you so much for your amazing prayers and your healing abilities. And I do ask for everyone's participation again for a new call to action that I would like for everyone to start on tomorrow for the fall equinox if you guys get to this video in time, but it's going to last through the rest of this month. So whenever you get to this video, even if you get to it in October, it's never too late to hold a space for love and healing. I did have some people write in and ask that we pray for the mudslide victims in Sierra Leone. So I do ask for everyone to hold the space for love and healing for that. But since we have had so many other natural disasters going on as of late and currently, I do ask that we just kind of broaden our healing base to all victims of natural disasters at this time. We just had Hurricane Maria, Irma, Harvey, 7.1 earthquake in Mexico, wildfires. I can't even keep track anymore of what's been going on. I'm sure there's some things that I left out. So, of course, if there's any other intentions that you would like to bring to the healing, please do so. And I would like to hold this at 4:44 p.m. I'm assuming most of you will be asleep a.m., but do it at 4:44 p.m. your time if possible, as we know that's a very strong angelic number. And again, if you can start it on the fall equinox, if you get this in time. If not, if you can just do it throughout the rest of the month, and really, of course, hold the space for love and healing for as long as you feel guided to, for all of the displaced people, the people who lost their lives, lost their homes. I do ask that we hold the space for all of the missing animals and pets. It's one of the things I always think about when we have these natural disasters, because I'm such an animal lover. There's been a lot of animals that are in need as well of healing and new homes, things like that. So if you guys have any suggestions for future call to actions, you can let me know. Please, you can write them down below or email them to me, and I thank you guys ahead of time for doing that. So before I get into this reading, guys, I just want to relay a little story of something that has happened recently in my own journey that I feel will support a lot of you. And the last couple of months for myself particularly, and I know for a lot of you, have been quite crazy and tumultuous and strong with all these eclipse energies, and just really a lot of ups and downs. And it was kind of unexpectedly, and I shouldn't say unexpectedly, I should have saw it coming, but at times I was kind of blindsided at how intense the energies had gotten. And I was going through this period, maybe it was sometime after the eclipse, and it was almost like a dark night of the soul type of thing. I couldn't figure out what was going on, but it was so intense what I was experiencing, and it was one of those moments where I'm like, I thought I was done with this. What is going on? There's still more stuff coming up for healing, like enough already, and I was feeling the sense of frustration, like I had taken some, like a step back or something. And my twin flame's higher self came through, and he communicates in all kinds of different ways, but it's like one of those things, and I'm sure you guys can relate, that when your twin flame's higher self comes through, it's just unmistakable. You know the energy, you understand when they're coming through. It's just this unmistakable feeling. And what he was communicating was, yes, it's hard right now for you, but just because things get difficult, it doesn't mean you just give up and you throw the towel, throw in the towel. and he was showing me the number 28. I had no idea what 28 meant. I've never seen this number before. It meant nothing to me. At this time, I one of those things, it was like I felt like I was going crazy. I'm like, what is going on? Like, like what is all of this mean? Am I imagining this? I don't understand 28. But yet I knew, there's a strong visceral gut feeling. You just know when your twin flame is there communicating. So I kind of stored it away for a different time, and sure enough, a week later, I'm still going through this heavy purging, and I was being guided at that time from divine source to seek out information. I wasn't even trying to get the answer to this, but I was guided to this one astrologer's video who was speaking of a certain transit that we were in at the time, where basically we had like 5 different planets at the 28th degree. And the very last time that we experienced that particular transit was 2 years prior. This particular week, I think it was the first week in August 2015. And he was saying all of this stuff is coming up that you have experienced during that particular week in 2015, if you can remember what happened that week. And that was the exact week that my twin and I went into separation, and it was during that whole 28th degree thing. So there is the 28, and that's why it became so difficult at that time. I was literally forced to relive that moment and that chunk of time, which was so painful and so devastating, of course. And I'm like, wow, that's why he was coming to me and was saying, like, 28, don't give up. And I'm like, what the heck does 28 mean? So I'm just saying this to you guys just as a reminder, if you're getting these signs and they don't make sense, write them down. I guarantee you they'll make sense at another time. Divine source and your twin will guide you to the answer when you're meant to basically find out, what it means. So just trust all that. Trust all the signs, as wacky as they seem, and you're not crazy. This is not all in your head. If you are a true twin flame and you're going through this, or even a soulmate or a divine partner, you understand the journey. You understand when you're getting intuitive guidance. So really just trust in that, and especially if you're getting intuitive guidance from your twin flame's higher self. And God, of course, obviously, but I mean, they're not gonna lie to you. It's important. It's for a reason. It's not like, at least for me anyway, it's not like my twin flame higher self. He comes to me all the time. So I know that it's something that is rather relevant. So so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And if you're going through any kind of struggles too, it's very interesting sometimes to kind of look at the astrology of it all, your personal charts. I find it really helpful to just kind of feel out where you are, and that sometimes it really is just a matter of the stars and what it is that's going on in your personal astrological path, or maybe your twin's astrological path. So just wanted to offer that to you guys. Now, to get into this reading here, the way that I have this set up, I have the divine masculine on the left-hand side, the divine feminine on the right-hand side. Now, because these eclipses were so crazy intense, and because the energies are with us for the next 6 months to the next 2 years, I really wanted to take a closer look at what has come out of that, what we really learned from all of that, basically where we are as a result of the eclipse energy, and kind of where we're heading with it. And I wanted to look at this upcoming fall equinox, which is tomorrow on the 22nd in the Northern Hemisphere. And because that feels like a very major time of transition as well. And I know there's a lot of things that are being predicted for September 23rd. I don't think it's as doom and gloom as a lot of people are saying that it is, but it just feels like a really powerful time. So I wanted to look at that as well. So the outer two rows represent, two rows, I don't know if I said rows or rolls just now. Um, the outer two rows represent the eclipse energy, and the inner two rows represent the equinox energy. So let's see. Let's start with the divine masculine first and see what's going on there. Okay, so let's start with what recently just happened with this eclipse energy. What we have for the divine masculine, and again, as always, I speak on the energies here, guys, not the sex or gender. So this applies to same-sex unions as well. But I'll continue to say he and she to make things easier. So we have the Temperance card for the Divine Masculine. This is a really beautiful, wonderful card of awakening and establishing balance. This is an amazing card to start out the energies of the eclipses. And I feel like a lot of us, both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, went into it with just a strong sense of optimism. That a lot of things were on the horizon for us. A lot of changes were coming, and we were kind of excited and gung ho. And some of us were kind of knocked down by the intense waves of energy. But there is a sense with the Divine Masculine that he came through it. I remember the last reading that I posted prior to the eclipses. We had the Death card for the Divine Feminine, the Tower card for the Divine Masculine, and I think it was the Seven of Wands. So I know that there were a lot of kind of rough, turbulent waters that he was being asked to kind of traverse through. And I feel like that these cards are representing him really coming through all that with flying colors, and coming through it with, like I said, with this stronger sense of balance and just inner. It's like this. I'm getting the sensation of just this inner tranquility, and this feeling of just serenity and calmness and understanding. His whole place in the world, and his whole place in the universe, and where he stands in the union as well. And there seems to be also this balancing out of his Divine Masculine and excuse me, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energies. Just gonna take a sip of water, guys. Okay, I'm in hay fever season over here, so I get a lot of allergies, so just bear with me through the video. But so it just feels like he's balancing out his masculine and feminine energies in this, and because of that, there's this sense of kind of joy and jubilation, and just feeling almost like this huge release that has come through with that. So that's represented in the Three of Cups here. This is a card of celebration, of community, of coming together, of just, it seems like he's almost taken this stance of like, I can relax now, put my feet up, the worst is over kind of thing. But then he kind of ends that whole transit with the Five of Swords. So this is an energy of conflict, of turmoil. It can represent also inner conflict and turmoil and defeat and loss. So I feel like at this point it's sort of all hit him, and he's almost sort of like reverting back to that old feeling of like, I'm not good enough. It's like this self-defeating kind of mentality. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve good things, and went through that Tower energy of the eclipses, and is sort of like now processing it. Like, what the heck just happened? Like, was this really all for my benefit? I think that this also represents an ending to the karmic relationships that were being ushered out through the eclipse energy. The eclipses were just, wow, guys, like they were really so powerful. There was a lot of endings in my life as well, and of course with these endings they bring new beginnings, but so much was being pushed out of our lives that was just not serving us anymore. And I feel like the Divine Masculine has this sense now of like, like, was that really all good what just happened? You know, like did I lose this battle here? Did I not gain, you know, from all of those losses? And again, there's like this bitterness, there's this self-defeating kind of attitude, and just feeling like he has somehow sort of betrayed himself or his path or his divine union, you know. And it's really just all this. It's not true. All of these thoughts, of course, and I think that he understands that. He will understand that in time, if not already, because what follows this is the Page of Wands. So this starts the fall equinox period, which basically we're in right now. But he will either, I do kind of feel like he's kind of entering this now. I'm going to say that this is starting pretty much this week. This feeling of just this sense of like youthful sort of enthusiasm. Again, that's really what the Page of Wands speaks of. You know, it could represent a young man, a young boy, but what it's representing is that sort of mental state where it's like you have this optimism again, this youthful optimism, you know, like I can achieve anything. I can go out and into the world and I can, you know, get X, Y, and Z and really kind of just start over, you know? And I love that, and I love that he's starting this new season with just this fresh attitude, this optimistic outlook. And what happens as a result of that? Well, we have the Four of Wands. So this is a beautiful card of union. This card could represent marriage, an actual ceremonial marriage. It is a card of strong divine love, of union, of very strong romantic love. So he's definitely feeling that connection. He is definitely feeling security in that. I feel as though the divine masculine is wanting to reach out to his counterpart, but not. There's still this sense of not being 100% sure of himself. And I do feel like that the divine feminine plays a part in that, so I will get to that a bit later. But there's still this sense of sort of uncertainty there. And to be clear, it's not an uncertainty of his feelings at this time. It's just more of a matter of like, how do I go about this, or really dissolving like those last bits of that self-defeating attitude, you know, feeling that they don't deserve it. But I do feel like that the divine masculine very much feels the love, is in the love right now. I actually have the love card for him, for his oracle card, and this is the card that I pulled specifically for the fall equinox. And it's really just a beautiful card. There's such a beautiful serene energy that comes through in this woman's face in this card. And he's in it right now, guys. There's this major heart awakening, this heart opening that is happening, I feel right now with the divine masculine. And he's really getting in touch with those feelings and feeling comfortable with them, and wants to express that. I really feel that he wants to express that. It's just there's still this sort of like trepidation that's kind of there. And the last card I have is the Judgment card, and this is in the position of how he feels towards the union, or what this all kind of means towards the union. And I do feel like he's in this stage of, or will soon reach the stage of, I should say, of judgment, and having to figure out, how do I traverse this now? What do I do? Like I feel like he is getting that strong nudge from divine spirit that it's like, okay, it's time, at least for the first wavers, you know, it's time to really move forward with this. It's time to reach out. It's time to really make that decision for yourself. You know, what is it that you want? Or if this is what you truly want, okay, what are you going to do about it now? And it is a card as well of awakening, of spiritual awakening. So I do feel like that there is this other, there's a strong awakening presence and activation that's happening within the divine masculine. That's been happening for quite a long time, but I do feel that there is another another spark of activation that's going to be happening within them to really get them into that state of just of security and knowing that I have the courage basically to move forward with this. The action card as well, this card I forgot to mention, but this is for in the position of the eclipse energy. This makes a lot of sense because, like I said, with those eclipse energies, like we were being forced to make a lot of decisions and push things out of our lives. We were being forced to really take strong action, whether we wanted to or not. So this card definitely makes a lot of sense during that time period. But I do feel like the energy is still present now with this, because like I said, that eclipse energy is with us up till the next 2 years possibly. So we're still in this time of judgment, of awakening, time to take action. Like this is it. It's time to really kind of seize the bull by the horns, and we're all getting that message, the divine feminine, divine masculine. I mean, all of humanity, really. There's this huge shaking up that's happening, and I feel like even just with all of these storms and earthquakes and all this stuff, there's just this cracking open, this awakening. And in this Three of Swords card, this is the conjoining energies. This is the crowning energy of the reading. And I love that I got this card because it just, I don't know, there's this feeling within this energy here. This, like, you can even see like the storm in the background, the lightning energy. It just kind of reminds me of what is happening with the earth right now, like I said. But it's like where everything just seems to be reaching this like culmination point, this really exciting, yet kind of turbulent, tumultuous sort of point, in this whole journey. And it's like something has to give, like something, it's like this feeling in the air. It's like something is about to happen. I mean, don't you guys feel that way? I know I feel that way. There is something big that is on the horizon for all of us, and it's exciting, but yet it could feel sort of heart-wrenching and gut-wrenching, and it's like this is what this card speaks of as well. It could signify a loss, a heartache. In this particular reading, what I do sense for the twins is that this is really more about having to kind of break open your heart to make room for this new love, for this great love. And it's almost like this tower energy, how things need to be broken down to be built back up again, and that includes your heart. It's almost like the Tower card, but for your heart specifically. And there's just this huge expansion that's happening there. And when I get this card, I always see these three swords. I see this as representing the Holy Trinity, and as you guys probably realize, this is what my channel is named after, and what my guides had communicating with me a while back, as the Holy Trinity as well also represents the Holy Spirit with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So that's really what I see in this card, is that those three swords, the twins under this protection of divine God, of Lord, of our Lord, and it's important to remember that these are divine unions. They're divinely protected. It is imperative that we call upon Him, whatever you consider God, whatever word you want to use for it. It doesn't matter. Call upon Him right now, or her, like I said, whatever you want to call it, for guidance and to kind of help you through these final stages. I do feel like the days and months and weeks, or however long it is leading up to your union, I do feel like, at least for some of us, and I do feel this in my own particular journey, that it will be met with a lot of obstacles, some final purges, if you will, some final tests from the dark, trying to stop the union. So I feel like all of that kind of comes into play in this energy. There's just a lot of kind of turbulence that comes through in this process, and it's not bad. I don't want to judge it as bad, but it is something that you need to be guided through. And I really feel like that God is asking us right now to lean on Him right now to get us through these final stages, because I think that for some of us it will be kind of tough. You know, I was given this saying a while back that it's always darkest before the dawn. And I know that that applies to my own journey, and I think for a lot of our journeys. So I think that it will feel that way, really extra dark before the dawn breaks. And that whole message is really coming through quite powerfully in this card here. So let's get into the Divine Feminine cards. They're really interesting what we have for the Divine Feminine. Let's start with the cards that came through with this eclipse energy, or again, these energies are really still with us. What amazing cards we have for the Divine Feminine. The Empress card, the High Priestess card, the Star. You could not ask for better cards to represent the Divine Feminine energy. This is really the Divine Feminine stepping into her goddesshood, getting on her throne, declaring who she is in the world. These are strong cards of just of femininity, of passion, of fertility, of abundance, of home, of children, of your divine feminine intuition, those divine magical gifts. You know, they're such powerful cards, guys. They're all major arcana cards. I can't express enough how amazing this is, that this is where the Divine Feminine is currently at, what has resulted out of this really crazy, eclipse energies. The Star card is in the position of how this all culminates in the union. This is such an amazing card of new beginnings and love and abundance and just this divine spark that is in so many of us right now. This sense of optimism towards the future, and it's just such a beautiful, soft, supple energy. I feel like is coming through, and the Divine Feminine has done so much work and so much purging, and is still continuing to do her work in purging. And it's like, I feel like we all need to acknowledge that and really give ourselves a lot of credit for where we're at right now, and what we've been through. And I can't express enough how amazing these energies are and these cards are. Now, what's so interesting here is that what follows that, at least for some of us, keep in mind this is a general reading, this is not going to apply to absolutely everybody, but what follows that going into this fall equinox season is the Ten of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Now this is the polar opposite of what we're seeing, of where we're at right now. I mean, without even knowing anything about tarot, you can look at these cards and it's just like the energies have just completely kind of, made a left-hand turn, basically. But what's important to know here is that as heavy and dense as these energies can seem, there are no real issues here. These are all just this is just how you're basically perceiving the situation. It's like the dark energy, the heavy energy is really just it's heavier. It feels heavier than it actually is. It's really again, this kind of self-defeating attitude that was kind of coming through in the Five of Swords with the masculine. None of it is real per se. It feels real to you at the time, but it is something I feel that a lot of us are going to be able to work through, I think, quite easily. I think the message here, at least for some of you guys, what's coming through in the Five of Cups, this is a card of warning about of not indulging too much in drinking specifically, or it could apply to drugs. Not to turn to that source of of escapism. So I just wanted to mention that, because I am guided to say that, not to overindulge right now in imbibing. There's all these wine goblets at this person's feet, and it's also a card that speaks of allowing other people to. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted right now because my neighbor is playing some like really funny array of music. They went from playing Arabic music to like Elvis. It's just, yeah. Talk about polarizing energies, right? Polarizing music. But anyway, so with the Five of Cups, again, it speaks of not wanting to be consoled, not allowing yourself to be consoled by friends or family or loved ones, just this kind of turning away, this really kind of self-loathing, like, just gonna say it, this sort of victimhood. Some of the divine feminine has fallen back into that victimhood mentality, and it's important to remember and to be reminded that we're not victims here. None of us are victims. We're divine beings. We're warriors. We're goddesses. We got this. We were incarnated because we are able to do this. We are fit for the job. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it sucks at times. I totally get it. But with each passing day, it's just there's an ebb and flow to everything. You could feel like crap today but feel completely better tomorrow. So just know that, and just know that this too shall pass if you're going through this type of energy right now, and just things are not as bad as you seem. I do think that it's kind of interesting because, like, I mean, I would say, at least for myself, this is kind of what was happening in my journey during the eclipse, and then this whole Empress energy, this kind of feels like where I am now. So I do feel like that these two polarizing energies could be flipped as well for some of you. Maybe this is where you were, and what starts the Empress row is where you're moving into now in the fall equinox rather. So it could be flip-flopped there. But if this does apply to you guys, and you're in this right now, I like I said, I think that it is kind of a fleeting energy. I don't think that there really is anything heavy here. There's nothing really to worry about. It's just a matter of getting out of your own head, and allowing yourself to rely on others and loved ones and Jesus and God to help you through it. That's what they're there for. Call on your guides, call on the divine. And I think I mentioned this already, but this could also be the final purge right here, because I do really sense that unions are really close for the first weavers. I don't think that any one of us knows when it's going to happen. I don't think that we're meant to know when it's going to happen, but I know that there is a very common thread here, that a lot of us can really feel it and sense it in our own unions and in our collective unions, that like something is brewing, like they're really culminating, so this could be the final purges, those final stages before you enter your union. So it's all good. But look what happens here. This last card, the Hangman card, it's interesting because, again, this is in the position of, well, how do these energies translate into the union? And this is a card of indecision, a stalemate, just feeling uncertain again, basically, about it all. And we don't want to stay in this space. This is in the same position of the Judgment card, where at the time where the masculine is being forced to make this huge decision. We're mirrors of each other. We don't want to hold the vibration of, well, I don't know what I want, or I don't know what the heck is going on type of energy, when he's in that time of judgment, like, okay, divine masculine, you need to figure this out. It's so important for us to hold that space of love, to hold that vibration of love with open arms, and so that the divine masculine feels like he has a safe place to return to. He feels our thoughts, he feels our emotional vibrations at all times. So it's so important, guys, to continue holding that vibration of love for them. What I want to say too is that it's funny that, like, what you can see here, it's like when you're in this Empress, this High Priestess, amazing goddess energy, it culminates into the star. Again, the position of, well, how does that project into the union? It's like this amazing sense of optimism. I got this, new beginning type of thing. But when you're in the vibration of 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups, what happens? It culminates into this feeling of indecision, of like not trusting it, of not knowing up from down, So you have to continually watch your thoughts and your mental state, because that just constantly feeds into your union and your whole outlook into your union, which again feeds into your divine masculine's thoughts and how it is that he is feeling towards the union. So you see what I mean there? It's just so important to continue to hold that safe space and that vibration of love. The last two cards I have for you guys for the Divine Feminine is the Integrity card. This is the card that represents the eclipse season. The card says, I trust my ability to know what is true for me. This is exactly what the Empress card and the High Priestess card, and really the Star card as well, means for me. That sense of just strong integrity, of just knowing who you are, being that goddess on your throne, having faith and trust in the world and in the divine workings of things. And it's, to me, there's this energy of just like standing your ground. It's almost like this divine masculine energy kind of coming through and not really taking anyone's crap. You know what I mean? This, I feel like we're asked to continue holding this vibration up. I'm sorry, they're now playing Salt and Pepper. I'm sorry, I'm getting totally off track. This is so funny. They're going through like every generation of music right now. Okay, sorry. I know this has nothing to do with the reading, but it's just making me laugh right now. All right, so so we're being asked to continue holding this strong stance and this vibration of integrity through this season right now, through these struggles that we're being presented with at this time. And just know that you got this, guys. Just know that, like, even if you're having a really crappy time, a bad day, whatever, you are this High Priestess energy. You are this Empress energy. The last card I want to leave you guys with is the Lady of Rose card, Lady of the Rose card. This is such a beautiful card. I mean, even just the imagery on here, I really love it. This card represents to me, as the Lady of the Rose, it does represent to me the Divine Mother, Mother Mary, who, as you guys all know by now, is very sacred to me, and I've called on her many times throughout my journey, and she's been so instrumental in helping me through my awakening. And of course, as a Divine Feminine, I connect with her. So if you are a Divine Feminine listening to this, I do recommend praying to her and working with her energy. I can't say enough about it, how magical and compassionate and just how amazing she is. And I do feel like that's what this card is speaking of right now, is giving that recommendation to specifically reach out to her. And I want to read as well from the book. This is from the Universal Wisdom Oracle Cards deck from Tony Carmine Salerno. So the book says, like many, you may have been led to believe that in order to gain knowledge, you must study and follow existing formulas, doctrines, and beliefs. While study is undoubtedly a rich and rewarding experience, it is also true that you all need to know what is inside of you. Your progress may be impeded at present because you are adhering to formality and theory. You do not need further formal qualifications in order to succeed or validate that which you truly desire in life. The wisdom you need is already inside of you. It is a vast treasure of knowledge waiting to be tapped. It is time to consult your inner wisdom and reclaim your power. The Lady of the Rose is here to help you access the vast pools of knowledge you hold in your heart. The following exercise may help you access your inner wisdom. Sit quietly and comfortably and let all your thoughts and worldly concerns just drift by. Watch them float away and let go of any expectations you may have. Simply relax and breathe. The more you can switch off and relax, the easier it will be to connect with your inner wisdom. Knowledge may come through feeling or intuition, or may come as words that float through your mind. Remember, the secret is to not make this process a struggle. Use it as relaxation without attachment to the outcome. Ask the universe to help you connect to all the knowledge that would best serve you at this time. So again, all the knowledge you need, guys, and all the answers that you need lie within you at all times. And sometimes those answers come as a strange number, you know, from your twin flame's higher self that doesn't totally make sense, or, you know, a song that's playing on the radio, or just a little message or something that flashes on the TV screen. The answers are all there. They're inside of you. It's your guides. Your guides are there speaking to you all the time. Your twin flame's higher self is there speaking with you all the time. Just trust that, listen to that. The only way that you can really connect with that is if you go in that quiet space and you connect with that silence in order to receive those gifts. You know, you don't have to search far and wide and watch all these videos and read all of these books. You know, I've been given that message so many times over and over, and actually specifically from Mother Mary, and that's a story for another day. But it was really a quite amazing experience that I had, and she was basically giving me that exact message, that the answers are within you. You know, you are the divine goddess. You are that divine goddess at every moment. You don't have to go searching and searching and searching for the answer. You are that answer. What I want to say, the last thing I want to say too before I end this video here, guys, is that if you notice in these two oracle cards for the divine masculine and divine feminine, you may or may not be able to see it, but there's this little spark of white light that's connected to the third eye chakra in both of these cards, and then there's this beautiful rose and pink flower in both of those cards, seemingly connected to the heart chakra on their both of their chests. And it was sort of like a mini download. I wanted to take more time with it, to meditate with it, to find out what exactly it meant. But I'm getting the message now through these cards that I was shown in this mini download that there is this merging process that is happening right now amongst the twins. I wasn't really sure how or in what capacity this was working, and what I'm sensing now with this energy that's coming through is there's a merging of our heart chakras at this time, and I do believe specifically our third eye chakras. And I was shown that a while back, and I know that I mentioned it in a video, that there was going to be a very powerful third eye awakening that would be happening. I do think that was in preparation for this. I do think that there is a strong third eye awakening that is happening right now, and heart expansion awakening that is happening right now amongst the twins. And within that space, I think it is a very powerful space to connect with your twin flame. Within those two chakras, you can connect with that during your dream state, during your meditation state, and I so promise I will get up a meditation tips video very soon, because I want to really help you guys with that. It's a really beautiful, wonderful way to connect with your twin flames energy. But there is, guys, there's just this merging that is going on there. When I have more information on that, I will definitely let you guys know. But I'm getting that very strong guidance right now to mention that. So I think that is all part of this whole heart expansion thing, this whole Three of Swords thing that is the crowning energy of this reading. It's like this, I don't know, it's like this binding, this opening up, this expansion, this merging of our heart centers. And I feel it really strong. I feel it really strong in my chest. I've been feeling it for the last few weeks. So I think that this is sort of like the final kind of touches on what needs to happen sort of energetically before these unions happen for us. So I really feel that this is happening right now. So connect with that, guys. Connect with your heart space. Connect with your guides. Connect with your twin flame. Connect with yourself, with all that is, and just know that we are you know, we're right where we need to be. Everything is okay. We're just, everything is working in divine order. I really believe that. So I hope that this message supports you guys and you guys really enjoyed the reading. Of course, let me know if you have any questions or comments. You can post them below, or if you want to schedule a personal session with me, I'm available for that. And again, if you guys have any suggestions for future call to actions that you would like for us to pray for, please let me know. My email address is twinflametrinity@gmail.com. And again, please hold the space for love and healing for all of the natural disaster victims. And love you guys. I will reach out again soon. Take care, everyone.